The Rhode Island General Assembly issued a list of its top priorities this year when they began their session on New Year's Day, improving the state's economic climate and lowering the high unemployment rate. That's today. 28 years ago today, January 3rd, 1985, the legislators were talking about doing something the taxpayers would really like: lowering taxes. Yes, lowering taxes. Imagine that. Here's today's flashback.
By Representative Gorham, Reed, D'Amadio, Hall, and 19 others, enact relating a 2% reduction in personal income tax, finance.
I enjoyed that immensely, Tom. It was really a pleasure to introduce those two bills. One of them, as you know, provides for a rebate of the taxes that were collected during the second half of 1984 from the taxpayers, and the other one is a permanent, and I stress the word permanent, reduction in the Rhode Island income tax rate.
House Finance Committee Chairman Robert Tucker says he'll schedule hearings on the matters promptly. Tom Cole, Newswatch 10 at the State House.
6 years later, the economic climate was at the other end of the spectrum. RISDIC had collapsed, and we were learning details about how Rhode Island credit unions had been allowed to run.
Rhode Island credit.
Well, we cut off the end of that piece.
Yeah, I remember that. Ooh.
That was Diana Kelch in 1991 with a bunch of revelations by a top federal credit union regulator. The revelations were that the RISDIC credit unions in Rhode Island were run with many practices unheard of in other parts of the country,
right.
Unsafe practices. And those revelations came 2 days after then Governor Bruce Sundlun was forced to close 45 RISDIC-insured credit unions when the deposit union system, the insurance system, shut down its operation. A third of the state's residents who had money in those credit unions had to wait 2 years or more to get their money back. Some people only got some of their money back.
That was huge.
And the broadcasters in that flashback were the Channel 10 political reporters of their respective eras. Tom Cole in the 1980s and Diana Kelch, who we only heard from.
We almost heard from.
Yeah, she was the political reporter in the 1990s. Brad Gorham, the House Minority Leader in 1985, is now in private practice. He runs a family law firm up in northwestern Rhode Island.
Yeah, I think in Situate.
Anyway, that's Flashback.